Jack do.
No, we're on.
All right, we're working now, folks.
All right, we're live. Woo.
Hello, Patriots. We hope you're all having a great day. I know I am. Hope you are too.
I am.
Junior,
Any day
hope
off
you're having a
work
good
is
time.
good.
Yeah, I am.
So welcome to the United States Constitutional Group here on Facebook and the Hawk Podcast on your favorite podcast channel. Please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
All right,
Hope you joined us.
Mike's in Pennsylvania.
Thank God.
Jack's over here.
I'm over here.
Watch your breathing, Jack. Mom told you breathing too loud last
I
week.
know.
Yeah, you always breathe loud. So, if you have something you believe would benefit our listeners, or have a comment or a question, please feel free to email us at dennis.gravel@yahoo.com. That's dennis.gravelle@yahoo.com. Or even call me. We're right here. 843-315-5273. So nice having a cell phone.
I don't know about that.
It's changed America, but it's still nice to have.
I don't like them.
So it's 843-315-5273. We need people involved. So get active and be part of something bigger than ourselves. And returning this out-of-touch government to we the people is something that is bigger than us. I believe saving our country should be important for all of us. Jack, why don't you start us off? I took the lead last week, I thought.
Did you? I don't remember.
Why don't you start off? Yeah, I did last week, so why don't you start off this week?
Okay, I have a few things I want to talk about today.
All right, time's up.
When I start going, let me know.
All right, time's up.
Time's up.
Junior, you got anything?
Have a good one.
Nope.
So, I was thinking, actually, I was watching a documentary on Joseph Stalin. Sweetheart of a guy. And it got to me thinking again. The United States right now is in a position where, like, after World War I and the Depression started and the folks that lost World War I were financially in a lot of trouble. Italy, Japan, even though Japan was on the Allies on that time, Germany, and Russia too, because they were trying to figure out leaving the czars there. But anyway, a lot of them got into power because the people of the government lost confidence of their government. So they were looking for something better. And so what did they do? They did what we're doing now. They all started their own little things and started, collating together and trying to get over. The problem with that, the ability of that for Germany and Italy, not so much Russia. Russia was a different creature all its own of just bad government followed by worse government. I don't want it in front of there.
Well, I got room I have to make.
You got room. So, I lost my track. So, how Germany had lost its way was it suspended its constitution. And, we are always saying, listen, get out there, join something, join anything that's in your community. But if it's something political, make sure it's something that is
Worthwhile.
with the Constitution.
It's worthwhile.
Whatever one that's with the Constitution. Because that's what this government is. That's what made this government great, was its Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. If you don't like this type of government, you don't have to live by it. You can, there's a document, I'll get the name of it, you can sign it and go elsewhere. You're allowed to leave this country. If you do not like this type of government, if you don't like what the Constitution says, and you don't like the way the Constitution is, you don't have to live by the Constitution. You can sign your document, just make sure wherever you're going is willing to accept you, because they may not accept you.
Right.
And you can move on and go head down the road. You don't have to live by this Constitution, but you do if you're in this country. That's why this country is great. That is why this country got Europe from starving after 2 world wars, This is why this country is being overrun right now from illegal aliens, because people want to come here, and it's all because of this book right here. This is the book. This is the reason why America's great. If you want to start your political parties and try and get rid of these idiots that are in office, just make sure it follows the Constitution.
I'm going to talk about something last night I was watching yesterday about why we should get rid of the idiots we have now.
Yeah, well, here's one of them.
It's crazy.
They want to keep a man from office because of the 14th Amendment, Section 3. Did we ever read this to everybody?
No.
I'll read it. 14th Amendment was ratified July 9th, 1868. So, the 14th Amendment, Section 3, is what they're trying to keep Trump out of office from. No person shall be a senator or representative in Congress or elected of president and vice president or hold any office, civil or military, under the United States or under any state, who having previously taken an oath as a member of Congress or as an officer of the United States or as a member of any state legislature or as an executive or judicial officer of any state, to support the Constitution of the United States, shall have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the same, or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. But Congress may, by a vote of 2/3 of each house, remove such disability. So they're saying that Trump can't be on there
Because of the so-called insurrection.
because which he has not been charged of, which they did not impeach him on. There was nothing. So again, here we go with this government, right? They impeach Biden. For what? I mean, I know what they're saying. They haven't showed us any evidence. They've spoken about evidence, but so did Adam Schiff. This is what I was saying. Now, conveniently, 1 year left of this man's presidency, time to impeach him. Sounds a lot familiar. It sounds exactly what the Democrats did, number one. Number two, now the Democrats sound like the Republicans. You can't do this. Let the voters decide.
Yeah.
So it's all going back to what me and Dennis say. It's a uniparty. I mean, these Democrats are saying that, they're showing no proof. We've been saying they haven't really showed any proof. There's allegations. There's been testimony. At least we've seen testimony on from some whistleblowers. Mm-hmm. 3 of them. 4 of them. No. 5 of them. 5 whistleblowers had testified at least about what was going on and how they were keeping Biden out of the mix. The Democrats didn't even have that. They had nothing. 0. And to this day, Adam Schiff hasn't said what it was. And that's unfortunate. If the Republican Party would do what they said they would do, they would cut funding to these things. The IRS, Border Control, the FBI, the Department of Justice. And they're saying, oh, you want lawlessness. No, that's not lawlessness. What you're doing is lawlessness. You're taking
Margaret, thank you for watching.
Oh, she got on. So, they got... they're taking our tax dollars and not doing what they're supposed to be. Matter of fact, the Supreme Court told this administration that they had to enforce these immigrants. Well, they did what the Supreme Court said, but they had made it so hinderous and so convoluted that they were only able to eject maybe like 80 people. 80 people in 3 years. And so they bring it and they say, we are. But here's the process for it. Look what it takes. This is why it is. These people are coming into this country. Bad health. Nobody knows who they are. We don't know if they're terrorists. We don't know anything. But they're going to keep this guy off the ballot because of an insurrection thing from 1868. Had to do with the Civil War. And I don't know. I think we're in a lot of trouble. Later on, I'll give you some time because I think my time's running out. I wanted to give some hard facts about these Ivy Leagues, private schools. in public schools.
Well, I'm glad that you brought up the Constitution because I'm going to talk about that in a little bit.
Want to borrow mine?
No, I got it right up there on the computer.
No, you
Yeah, I could read that.
can't read this?
Probably not that small without glasses on.
Well,
Yeah, definitely.
I know why.
you're old.
Because I'm old.
Old.
Old man.
So you want me to go next?
Unless
you got anything?
you want me to continue to talk, I'll talk about the colleges.
I had nothing.
You got nothing? You don't come prepared?
No, I didn't. Usually I'm doing this.
He came dressed snazzy though.
You did.
I did.
You look good.
Thanks.
How'd
5
you bowl the
o'clock.
other night?
We took 5. 5 points.
Out of
And
7.
Out of 7. And it was a hard team.
Yeah, what'd you bowl? What were your games?
My first game was a 147. My second game was a 109. I didn't do good in the second game. Third game, I got 149.
Good.
Yeah.
You got a pretty decent average.
Yeah, I do.
140 something.
Yeah.
So every so often, I watch C-SPAN
Oh, yeah, that's tough to watch.
to find
I do too, though.
to find out what our congressional representatives are accomplishing for us, the people of America. I really don't know why I punish myself, but I do.
I do too. Sometimes I can't walk. And you want to know the worst is? Sometimes they grab me with the title. American Book Review.
Wait till I tell you the title.
I fall for that one every time. I go, and it's never a good. Oh, it's always a terrible
You know,
book.
I couldn't do it today. I just couldn't do it. Madeline and I just got in the car and we went. Just had to get out of the house. So, what talking about Madeline
Madeline!
and I?
Dennis proposed to Madeline. Madeline,
The other
will
night.
you be my wife? And
It took some coaxing. I think she fell for it.
congratulations, Madeline
Congrats.
and Dennis.
She's a great lady.
She
Love
is
her to
very,
death.
very,
And,
very good lady. Served our country too.
she did.
She's a veteran.
Yeah. So, but yesterday was one of those days, and I can honestly say this: we as a nation are in serious trouble with these clowns in office. Jack, you have any clue what they were talking about yesterday?
No, I'm afraid. No, I did not watch.
They were debating, and you can't make this up.
Oh, God.
I'm going to call it the whole milk debate. Allowing whole milk in schools.
You felonious animal, you.
For about an hour. It finally passed. I don't know how many changes there
That's
were.
funny.
How are they arguing about having whole milk in school?
We're going to talk about that in a second. You know, I feel dumber listening to these idiots. Like I said, I watched the debate for about 45 minutes.
Madeline, how do you turn this doorknob?
I don't think you can believe what I was watching. So the first thing I had to do was look at the Constitution. First thing I went to see if schooling was a power of the federal government,
No, it's not.
and if they have the power to control milk in schools. Finding the Constitution wasn't hard, anyone. I went to the internet and I typed in U.S. Constitution. There's several different versions you can pick up. I picked the PDF version because it looks good to me. It's got bigger words I can see. So, again, put in a search bar and immediately gave me options. I was really surprised it was that quick with all the censorship going on today.
Yeah, right? Pretty soon this in the Bible, like my brother says, will be highly illegal.
Yep. Now, I've read the Constitution a few times, so I know what the powers of Congress are in Article 1, Section 8. We've talked about it before with everybody.
Yeah, we got to start talking about that more.
We are. So it starts out with this is Section 8. Congress shall have the power to, and then it lists what the responsibilities are. And I was reading, I see several: to borrow, to regulate, to establish, to raise and support armies.
Nothing that said milking.
Nothing about milking. To provide, which this Congress is failing miserably at. They don't provide shit for anybody.
No, they don't.
What I
Well,
don't
for
see,
themselves they do.
I know. What I don't see is regulation and promote public schooling for our children. Now, I do see in there to promote the progress of science and useful arts by securing for limited times to authors and inventors the exclusive right to the respective writings and discovery. Jack and I have a copyright. No one can take this from us.
Right there. In the
Right over there.
picture frame.
That's what they're talking about. If you do an invention, if you write a book, it's your copyright, it's your work. No one can steal that work from you. That's what that means. It doesn't say nothing about milking cows. Doesn't say anything about regulating milk in schools. Doesn't even say schools in general. Nothing in there says the federal government's part of schools. So again, I don't see anything that says regulate milk. I don't see the federal government school of education. So why are they even involved?
Mm-hmm.
That's my question. But I can tell you how they got involved in public schooling.
I know exactly how they got involved.
We the people, giving this government too much power to interfere in our daily lives.
You know who the president was that got that going?
I don't remember.
Carter.
Jimmy Carter. Oh yeah, the federal. Yeah, I do remember that now.
He made a deal with the teachers union that he would make Department of Education if they backed him.
Oh, I see. They did a pool with the teachers union, and more people are supporting them less and less. Only 37% of people support public teachers unions.
Yeah, well,
They're going to be going down soon.
I don't know.
So again, they got involved in our lives.
I tell you right now, this is where they get it from. Because the only place it says to regulate, the only place in this Constitution that says to regulate is to regulate commerce with foreign nations and among the several states and the Indian tribes. And this commerce clause is what they hang everything on, especially kids' lunch. They consider it a commerce.
It's not a commerce.
It's not a commerce.
It's health.
99% of what they call commerce and put their clause into is not commerce.
So they keep taking advantage of that because we the people let it continue to happen. It's our fault. It's our fault that they don't allow whole milk in schools. I've never milked a cow before, but I'm sure some kids in what's that in schools there? I don't know what it's called. Any of the schools where the farm.
Oh, the agriculture?
Yeah, I'm sure they learn how to do it. Come on, folks. We all know schooling is not a power of the federal government. It's not mentioned in Article 1, Section 8. It's not mentioned anywhere in the Constitution. Constitution in the back of our book.
Mm-hmm.
Along with Declaration.
Mm-hmm. Along with our platform.
It's there, folks. It's anywhere. $17 for this book.
$17. Listen, we had 582?
554.
We had 554 viewers last week. I would really love to have everybody buy this book. My wife puts it up. It's up right now. She puts the link up right there. It's Dorrance Bookstore. All you gotta do is click on that. She puts it on every week. She puts it on my Facebook because I don't know how to do it. Jack does it, and she puts it on her own.
Pat, thank you. We appreciate it.
Missy said that congratulations.
Thanks,
and
Missy.
Pat said that Ireland has announced it will slaughter all the cows in the country. No whole milk there.
Yeah, no milk there.
Well, I mean,
That go to. Oh my God. But in the 10th Amendment, I guess it states the powers not delegated to the United States by this Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. Schooling is a state responsibility. It's not a federal responsibility. Moms and dads, sisters and brothers, aunts and uncles, y'all need to get involved more with the schooling within that school community. Start taking over. You need to ensure that your state education system is doing what it is supposed to do. The federal government is just going to keep taking if we don't. You need to take over the school boards. You need to vote your local politicians out. Vote your school board out. Vote your county morons out. Because there are a lot of them too. Got a lot of county morons.
A lot of morons, period, running this country.
All these people in politics have one thing in common.
Themselves.
They're all liars.
And no whole milk, goddammit. Scotch. And here they drink a lot of whiskey.
The Green New Deal states they want to get rid of all cows. Mm-hmm. They want you to drink. This is what they want you to drink. They want you to drink water.
They don't want you to. They don't want you to survive. Again, to go back to that Stalin thing, the state-run farms killed millions of Russians because nobody was going to run them. Am I up?
Not yet. Stop giving up our rights of the state to these federal tyrants. And local. You know, it's like when you go to work, you got policies and procedures that must be followed. You know, the government doesn't do that. But the only time it does get changed is when something bad happens. I call that crisis management.
Reactionary.
And that's exactly what this federal government is doing to our state education system. Before we all know it, the federal government will have total control over every aspect of our lives. Don't say you weren't warned. Playing stupid is no longer an option. And I know some of you aren't playing. Trust me, we know that. You know, educate yourself with this Constitution.
Yes.
Get your children involved. Challenge them to read books. Read the history of this nation.
Real history of this nation.
Both good and bad. Because there's good and there's bad. Then and only then, we'll stand up against these corrupt government tyrants. Every week we tell you that politicians are useless. Not just Democrats, not just Republicans. Bernie Sanders is an independent. Kristen Sinema is an independent. They're just as bad. All these political parties right now, Democrat, Republican, independents, are not working for this country. Because they don't care about you or me. And that's just another reason why we need to vote differently. Mm-hmm. It's time to wake up, Patriots. The time is right now. Jack.
All right. So, we look at the 10th Amendment. Dennis had read. These rights go back to the states, and if they don't go to the states, they go to the people. Why was the 10th Amendment put in? Because somebody in the framers of this country had passing through. Somebody, one of the group of the framers said in Section 8, it's just like Dennis said, it's a list of things that this government's in charge of. So somebody had said, well, why don't we, what about this? And they were like, well, is it in there? No. Well, then no. So enough of them said, listen, we got to straighten this out for the folks that live around here. It became part of the Bill of Rights and became the 10th one. So that's why the 10th Amendment went in there. I'm going to talk about these colleges, and Dennis is 100% right, and because he read this here and it said right there and there that's not in there. When they were making the Constitution during the Constitutional Convention, they spoke about a government school for months. And at the end of the argument, it always came up, no, the government should not have a government-run school. Because if you have a government-run school, sooner or later it's going to lead to indoctrination. And they knew that. And what do we have? Right? Whatever. Easy for me to say. Indoctrination is happening. That's why they weren't supposed to have this. So we saw these idiots from these Ivy League schools testify to Congress. So that was kind of like Dumb and Dumber 2, They were there, they're there. So Harvard UPenn, she resigned, and the rest of them.
Pat's calling. Talk about that.
What is it?
Pat's gonna call in.
Oh, is she?
Talk about that. So go ahead, continue. Good job.
So they had people were starting to cut it off, but Harvard stuck by their president, and so here's a little thing I found out about these schools. So Ivy League schools are getting over $600 million a year in government subsidies. Over $300 million a year from state subsidies, and over $100 million a year from tuition, which the Pell Grants are, again, on top of that, tax-based. Harvard has $40 billion in their bank accounts from their alma maters. So they are investing these things. You know how much they pay taxes on it?
Very little.
0. They do not have to pay capital gains on any of their investments because they're the school. On their payrolls and all of that other stuff that they have to do, 1.5% tax they pay.
Here,
Hello?
hi, Pat. Can you hear me? Hi,
Hello, Pat?
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good.
How
How are
you
you?
doing, Pat?
Okay. Just a little bit on the connection is I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing you guys. But the Chinese did threaten cyber attacks on this country. Well, they hit upstate New York, and they were the first. I actually thought it would be New York City, but no, they hit upstate New York. Schools were closed, they had no power, and it was kind of on the late side last night that, I cut my connection with my, the guys upstate, my family, and they said it was going to be a long night.
Did they lose power and everything?
Yeah.
Oh, geez, that's
So-
cold up there, too.
But thankfully, they have the generators. Most of them upstate have generators. But they claim the next hit, the way it sounds, would be the West Coast. And they have about 14 sites that they plan on hitting.
Do you know what those sites are?
They are threatening, really, a number of hits. Some of them at the same time in this country.
Where did you hear this from?
On YouTube, I have this, trying to think of his name, Steve Ram, R-A-M. And I don't know where he's getting his information, but it's proving to be true.
Do some information. Do some background check on Steve.
And
Rand.
they're stating that, Hamas
over
is
here.
already in this country, so is Hezbollah, that
Well-
they're already here.
Well, I mean, you can understand that they're probably here because that southern border is wide open, and
Yes.
you listen to our show all the time, and which is nice because I kind of feel like I'm visiting with my family, and
Same here.
the government doesn't know what they don't know. They have no idea what's here. 19 people pulled off September 11th. Even if they're talking about 300 like they say is the number, which you always know they're wrong. 19, they almost took the financial district of the United States down. You had
Exactly.
300,
And it's something that I remember every bit of it because I got caught in the Battery Tunnel.
Yeah, that would have been a bad one to get caught
I
in.
lost my car, but I was able to get out of the car. Actually, it was a cop who knocked on everybody's windows and said, "Get out of your car." So, but I was forced up onto Trinity Place, and to see it to see the second tower come down. I mean, running almost seems ridiculous, but you're absolutely right. 19 people. And they're saying that planes will be involved again somehow. So I was concerned because my brother John's wife, she went to granddaughter's wedding in the Philippines, and I'm a little concerned that if anything happens here, I'm concerned about her being able to get back.
Well, I tell you what. There's been a few times my wife has been worried because, you know, they're saying that these planes are losing functionality. And there was actually a time where my wife had told my daughter, don't fly down, I'll come up and get you. And my wife went up there and they drove down together to come visit us there because my wife was just afraid to fly at the time. We're in a precarious place in life because, you know, the folks that are running this country, they're not smart. They're not brilliant leaders. You know, they're not the Winston Churchill of the time or, you know, these are not the people of the time. You know, we always get very lucky in this country that we always end up getting a leader for that time. You know, I always say, because I was working the day of September 11th, I was there that day. And, you know, when I had gotten on the police department, there was over 2,000 homicides a year in New York City. You know, if September 11th would have happened 10 years earlier, you know, the whole downtown Manhattan was blacked out with no phones because the Verizon building was right next door to the World Trade Center. It had a 6-story hole in it. There would not have been the non-crime of the time. There would have been looting. There was no phones to call the police. There was nothing in downtown Manhattan, in the financial district or any place down there. Yet, you know, we had Giuliani had come in, like or not, whatever it was, he brought the crime down to 600 a year from over 2,000 homicides a year, brought industry into it, changed 42nd Street, you know, got rid of the drug pushers and the pimps and stuff like that. So, but we just don't have it right now. Go ahead.
Hey, Pat. You read her book, right?
I don't know if she's still there. Your phone's off.
Where'd it go? Yeah, she left.
Anyway, that was good to hear from Pat. Thank you, Pat. It was great to hear from you. I hope everybody's doing good. Love you guys. And now tell everybody upstate to be careful.
So the Steve Rahm has 471,000 subscribers. He's a millennial real estate investor, YouTuber, entrepreneur, and family man. And he's a millennial that talks about. He's a millennial that talks about the government.
Yeah.
You don't have many of them.
Well, we'll listen to him and we'll see. I mean, you know, if this is going on, these are the little outlets that you have now, you know, and they're all over the place. You take the personality and the information you enjoy and you start listening to them. I wish we could figure out how to get YouTube to work that way. Yeah, we've been doing this for 3 years. You know how many we got? What do we get? 83 members on YouTube?
Oh, we didn't market it right.
Huh?
We didn't market it right.
I don't even know how to do it. I wish I knew how to do it.
So these hearings on these anti-Semitism with these college professors was a joke. It was.
It was a waste of money.
Waste of our money. Waste of your money, my money, because it's taxpayer money. Same thing with this Biden inquiry, this Hunter Biden inquiry. All these other hearings, it's all our money they're wasting. Mm-hmm. And no one seems to give a damn, except a couple of us.
And these Ivy League schools are getting $1 billion a year from government.
Yep.
$1 billion a year. And, private schools are getting a little less, but they're in the hundreds of millions.
Yep.
And then, right. And where's this money going?
No one knows.
It's not going to education.
It's going in your pockets.
Because these kids don't know anything about this country. You know, it's funny because we talk about it all the time, me and Dennis. we talk about divide and conquer. This country has, these politicians have us segregated in 10,000 different ways. Did you hear what the mayor of Boston did?
No, what do you do?
She invited to a holiday party for elected officials all non-whites. White, not invited. So if you were elected in Boston to some kind of functionality in their government, you got that night free. You go do something else. you're not going to the party.
Obama's a Netflix thing, non-whites.
Yeah.
No whites. Yeah, but they're not prejudiced.
No. But, it's what they do.
It's way,
there is more people are dating and marrying, and it's all different because there's no difference for the American folks. This is the person I go to work with every day. These are the ones I'm standing side by side with. It's the United States government. They have to keep you through race, religion, economics, education. The more different ways that if they can have boxes this big piled up to the ceiling and put us all in our own little drawers, they got it. That's why we always say, get involved with your neighborhood. Get involved in your neighborhood. Talk with your neighbors. Because you'll realize, we are a lot more alike than we are different.
Got that right. We always tell you all the time. If you don't want to get involved with us, get involved with something. Hey, we want you to get involved with us because y'all know this country's in trouble. Y'all know it. Some of you are just naive, don't want to admit it. Some people are just too damn stupid to realize it.
I'd say 99% of the people that follow us, they get it.
They get it.
They're all over. We see it in our comments.
Yep.
We have certain people like Mr. Lovell, man. Pages of knowledge. He just writes on our on our Facebook thing.
There's a couple people like that, but
yeah,
get involved in your community, people. If you're a veteran, join the American Legion, join the VFW if you can, join the Moose Club. Join a
bowling league.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Join a bowling league.
Yeah.
That's what Madeline and I are gonna do soon.
That's what my sons do. I got all three of them.
Yeah.
They belong to a bowling league. They invite Dennis and Madeline over. They don't invite me. I stay home.
Well, thanks to Madeline, they won.
That's true.
they were in last place. They moved up to like half. They made like 13th place because of her.
13 and a half. We don't want to be unlucky. That's a bad number.
So I want to talk about campaign negativity right now. We all seen it at the Republican debate last week. It's only going to get worse in the coming year. See, instead of politicians talking about policies and how to help the American citizens, all these clowns do, attack each other. Throwing mud and digging up dirt, saying how bad they are, and I'm better than him, I'm better than her. We see it year after year. Stop falling for the shit. The only time you get to see your politician is during elections.
This whole campaign, we had one guy that brought out the Constitution in 2 debates that he had, and that was the governor to North Dakota.
Yep.
He was the only one that knew the Constitution, and he was the first one out of the race.
Again, you only see your politicians. The time you really get to see them, and they even want to talk to you because they want your vote. It's a relentless cycle that most people fall for yearly.
Gaslighting.
People are starting to wake up, though. Many ask politicians a question, but all they talk about is how good they are, along with their party and how they're going to do this and do that. What they said they were going to do the last 10 times they've been elected, and they still haven't accomplished. But they're going to tell you that same thing, and you're going to fall for it. They only tell you we can only win if we vote them back in office, along with more Republicans, more Democrats, because that's the way it should be.
And they know it can't happen because it's 50-50. Nobody's going to get that majority lead.
Nope. No one's going to get the supermajority.
No.
We need Democrats and Republicans to pass the people's agenda. They have no clue what people want. Nor do they care. Wake up, people. They only want your vote to stay in their egotistical power trip. They focus on name calling. and enjoy the bashing of a candidate's character as well as their families because they think you like it. They think you're going to cheer for that. And some
Jerry
people
Springer
do.
show.
Yep. This
That's
isn't Jerry
true.
Springer, people. This isn't Dr. Phil. This isn't even Oprah. This is real life. There's nothing a politician will do. They'll stoop low enough to get you to vote for them. They never explain what they have done for the people. We need people to tell us that they work for us and not a party. We're tired of career politicians. 2024 is a time we the people, must make a huge statement. It's time for minor parties to get in the game in local, county, state, and federal elections. Hey, we can start at the state. We can start at local level and take it over a bunch of mayors. You know, we can do it.
I think it has to start there
We
because
just have to be tired enough to do it. You're right, Jack.
if it comes at the home, if you start in the state, you can make your state laws where your federal officials aren't allowed to collect money outside of the district they're running for, or you're not allowed on a ballot.
You know, we need people who care about this country in office. They need to leave their egos home. Saying, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. The black community, what have they done for you?
Mm-hmm.
What have any politician done for you?
Either side of
You're starting to wake up because you're starting to turn on Biden because he's done nothing. Republicans have done nothing for white folks in the middle, black folks in the middle. All these politicians care about are money and corporations. That's it. And have more power over you every single day. To be honest with you, I don't know how much we can take of these clowns. Just think about it. They were debating about allowing whole milk in schools.
Yes, you should start watching C-SPAN.
You know,
See where your tax
it'll
dollars
give you a headache.
go.
It'll give you a headache, but it's good information. How can politicians fix the economy in our high interest rates, or even stand up to our enemies when they stand on the House floor without finding a milk resolution?
That they're not even supposed to be involved.
Not even part of the federal government.
Not even in this book.
You know what? It's an embarrassment to be an American citizen right now. But I still have hope. I hope that we, the Patriots, can find a way to unite and make things better. We're ready to wrap things up. June, you got anything you want to say?
I just want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Good job.
Yes, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We're going to be off the next couple of weeks so everybody can celebrate the
Holidays.
festivities. I know I'm going to get to see my mom, and
Oh, yeah. When are you going down there?
she's coming up here.
Oh, awesome.
That's awesome.
And then we're going to go up to North Carolina and see
She going up there with you too?
my 3 daughters and the grandkids and her significant others. And unfortunately, my son can't make it this year,
Ah.
but he'll
That's sad.
be with us in spirit. He probably has to work.
Yeah, my daughter's not making it down. She just started that new job. But she's, she's pumped. She's in where she belongs. She's doing great.
So, Jack, any last words?
Just don't fall for this year coming up because it looks like they may have interest rates come down a little bit. The stock market's going to go. It's on its second day in a row at record-breaking closing. But you want to know what's not going to go down? Inflation. And the reason why inflation is not going to go down over the next years because just like what me and Dennis have been saying for 3 years, economics in the Democratic Party is making the United States currency a commodity and getting it hard to get by through high inflation and high taxes. So your interest rates may come down and stock market may go through the roof, but if you don't have a shit ton of money in the stock market, don't matter anyway.
Stock market's going to crash soon.
But you know what? That interest rate, inflation, it's part of the economy. It would be very, very hard for them to change policy to get that inflation down.
They're basically choking for having to go back to Trump-era policies on immigration.
Yeah, I think they would rather put a stake through their head than do that.
Yep.
Could you imagine his
But the
campaign
American
slogan?
people are talking.
I told you so.
The American people are talking. They're fed up.
My last
More
thing
people fed up.
tonight, 552
554 views.
last week. Please, everybody that listens to it, buy this book. $17, right?
Yep.
17 on the nose.
$17.
Yeah, we kept it low.
$17. Buy the book. The link is right on our show. You can also go to fedupwithpolitics.com and it'll bring you right there.
Missy, good luck with your surgery next week.
No,
Or
that's...
Margaret.
Yeah.
Margaret, good luck with your surgery next week.
Yeah, Margaret.
We're here
Yeah,
for you.
we're praying for you.
If you want to call him Bug Jack, I won't mind. Junior, that is.
Yeah, she better call him Junior.
So we tell you every week, politicians gaslight us every day. It's in here. I'd like to get Pat or somebody else who actually got to read the book. Maybe we'll have Pat on next week or when we get back from the New Year.
My sister Margaret read it.
Maybe we'll get Margaret on and see what she liked about it and disliked about it. You know?
Not next week.
No, in 2 weeks. No, wait, like the first week in January. January 2024. That's when we're coming back. So
Yeah, so it would actually be Tuesday's the 2nd. 4th, January 4th.
Yeah, January 4th.
So during this Christmas season, besides the snow, comes the cold weather, depending on where you live.
Not according to global warming.
It's cold down here during the mornings.
Yeah.
It's a nice afternoon. It's like 50, 55.
59 today.
Well, so that's good. I can do that. But we have an aging population, and unfortunately, a homeless population with our veterans and just regular families. Be a neighbor that checks on the elderly in your community. Make sure they have food and drinks and even heat. You know, most of us at this time of year have bigger hearts. The holidays here, we're all more patient, more caring. So just be patient with them. Be friendly. And be that person who checks on those less fortunate than us. They all need us out there. I don't care who it is. I'm not one for giving homeless people money at the but if I have an extra sandwich in my going down the street, if I go to McDonald's and buy an extra one, I'll give them food.
I have an eating disorder.
That's okay.
It's hard for me to give food out like that.
Everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy this Christmas season. Remember, Christ is the reason for the season. But celebrate and have the awesome Christmas that we all need to have.
Yep.
Thanks for listening. Share this with all your friends and family so we can stand together and win back our country. And we'll see you January 4th, 2024. Hey, if you make a New Year's resolution, make sure you hold up to it. I don't make them because I know I'm going to break them. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy New Year.
Merry Christmas.
Good job, Jack.